Good morning, and how are we all doing today? This is Cyber Magician, and today we're going to take a couple of people. Uh, we're going to use Sargoth Huntsman and LLS Huntsman, and we're going to take them into the Devil Assault, and I'm going to show you just how it can be done solo. And normally what happens is that somebody high-end, like Sargoth here, will go into Devil's Assault, and they'll open it up to anybody else. And these are people who are called Pikers. And what they do is, because the quest has begun, and it locks people out of the quest area after about a minute. So what they do then is that they turn around, they come in, and they just sit around and wait until the end. And hopefully, hopefully they think that you can succeed in what you're doing. So here we go. We're going to take Elness, and we're going to cast a few spells to help protect Sargoth. Mind you, with his armor class, he doesn't need too much protection. He can get his armor class as high as over 200, and that's pretty good. And he doesn't have any super duper equipment. He's not a completionist or triple completionist at all. So actually, let's take a quick look here. We'll look at his skills here. There we go. Past lives. Heroic. He's only got 3 past lives. To be a completionist, it's about 30 past lives, so he's nowhere near that. Anyways, here we go. He's protected now. So in he goes, and he's going to call up a couple of his pets to help him. There they are. And he's got 4 of them. Now, because he's a fighter, all he has to do is swing his sword. It makes it really easy. So let's see how this goes. And we have to wait. Here we go. Now you have to admit, 900. He does pretty good with sword. He does about 100 to 150 damage every time he swings the sword. And if he gets lucky, gets those criticals, he can do up to 1500. And that's because he's using a rather unique sword. This is it here. It's the Kopish. Moaning Lord's Kopish, level 29. Quite a powerful. This is one of the new sentient weapons that just come out. And as you can see here, is that he's got one of the filigrees installed, and it gives him a hit to his constitution. Not super powerful yet, but it should get there. When I say super powerful, it's that what you're looking at these sentient weapons is that every time that you want them to upgrade and you get a new filigree to put into it, or a gem, is that it adds more and more bonuses to it. And it can get quite high. Some pieces require 5 different filigrees. Some only 3. And this one, I'll bring it up here. Take it into his hand. So there it is. There's the weapon. See? Sentient XP is 896. For the next level, to get another one of these filigrees put in, it's 2,000. But they can only be added if you use named items. So what you do, you sacrifice your named items, and not all of them, into the weapon. And what it does then is it adds some XP, heavy on the word some, into the weapon. And at 2,000 experience points that you've sacrificed all these weapons and stuff into it, then you can add a second piece. And in this case here, if we add a second piece, it shows you 2 pieces plus 50 electrical. If I add 3 pieces, which is 6,000 XP, it does an extra 4 dice 6 plus 1 to 6 per character level in electrical damage. That's the one you want. That's the one that's going to make this weapon really stand out. Let's face it, if I can do an extra, in this case, 35 dice of damage every time I swing the sword, that's huge. Now, because it is an area effect type of weapon, is that every time I swing the sword at that level and I do that extra 35 dice of damage, they have a savings throw to half it. So it's still going to be nice. One of the nicer ones to get is ones where your enemies have a tendency not to resist too much. And one of the ones you look at there is the ones electrical, acid, force have a tendency not to be resisted too much. Fire, at upper levels, fire has a tendency to be resisted by almost everybody and their dog mother. So it's not really helpful. Low levels, yeah, it works real good, but high levels, no. Let's face it, if I'm facing devils and demons that come up from hell, a lot of them are resistant to heat and cold. 9 levels of hell, one's fire, one's ice, so yeah, not so good. But acid, yeah. Force, pretty good. Or holy, that would be one to get, is holy. So everything that's bad gets the damage. But we'll also see. So right now we're doing the first wave, and is there a total of 5 waves that goes through here that you have to fight your way through. And I'll show you here, each one of these waves has a different type of XP. So you complete the first wave, and you get so much XP, and you complete the second, and you on and on and on. Until you get into the third wave, where you get one of the mini bosses, and you have to fight them. Once you kill him off, then you end up getting the next wave after that. So at wave number 3, you get a mini boss. Wave number 4 and 5, there's mini bosses, and at the end, the grand boss devil himself shows up, and we beat the crap out of him. Not too shabby. So far, let's see here. We've killed 71 monsters already. Sargos killed 50, the Panther has killed 6, 9 for the Crow, Alabaster Lion 2, Albert Defender 4. Now he does get kit once in a while. So right now, Sargos armor class is about 165. Let's give it a quick check here. Armor class is 164. Okay, here we go. This is the third wave now. And you can tell that each wave starts and stops because you'll have one of the changes in the game shows you that the monsters are upgraded. So instead of getting scorpions that we were getting, now we're getting mostly demons and devils and what have you. So here we go. Let's heal a couple of these people up a little bit. Now this is where Ellie would come in handy. Is that Ellie, being a cleric, would be here and be able to have everybody healed up. Unfortunately for Ellie is that with the other account, she is okay. She's level 25, so it's not up where Sargoth is, so she's okay. But she's a cleric, and as you know, or I've told you before, I am terrible at paying clerics. So instead of dragging her in here and having one of the girls from my other account die off on me, then I'll turn around and just drag her butt in, and she can pike. And piking today, let's have a look here. So far, completion is 22,900. That's going to go up as we go on. Option first wave is about 5,000. Second wave another 8,000. Third wave another 10,000. So right there we have 22,000 XP is what she's getting for standing around and looking cute. Not bad for nothing. Not bad. So, back to the task at hand. The biggest problem you run into is at the upper levels that people have reached nowadays with their armor class and their fighting abilities. In here, it becomes rather boring because you spend a lot of time doing exactly what I'm doing now, waiting. And you wait for them to show up. And when they do, you can slice and dice them down, which is fine. It's the waiting in between. Now, there's no way that the game can turn around. Well, I can't say that. There may be a way for the game to turn around and adjust the spawn rates for this quest depending on who's in. And it should be able to notice that, okay, all the people are dead, let's send in the next crew. And then you can beat them down a little faster. But, that's a lot of work to try and figure out through the code and how to do that and program it into the game so that they can spawn faster. And we're just, let's see, what do we get? Healing Hands, 120 hit points. That's not bad. So, we'll just leave it as it is, and we'll fight our way through all these dudes until we get down to the mini boss at the end here. Oh, she's talking to me again. That's the other thing, is that with these sentient swords, they have a personality. That's why they're called sentient. And it's cute. You're listening there and you can listen in on somebody talking, all of a sudden, if you're not used to it, it kind of catches you off guard. Which is fine, so it's cute. Ah, our first mini-boss. And of course it's Sapphire Lord. Her name is Hellfire. And she's now down. So now we have time to relax, and we can get our chest over there, or we can sit down and turn around and rest. Well, that's what we're wanting to do. We're going to rest. And we're going to get our hit points back and our spell points back. Now at the same time, I think I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take all my pets here and tell them to do the same thing. Relax. Cop a squat. And get your hit points back. Once they have all their hit points back, they'll be good. Because I'm not a spellcaster, I can't add any spell protections on my summoned animals. You know, if I was Charles Starfire, I would, because he's a wizard and he's able to do that. But as a fighter, not so much. So we're just going to have to rely on him and his brute force. Let's have some fun. Let's switch off our weapons here. So, I've switched out for what is now a Thunder Home Forged Kopaz. Oh, there it is. There's the information on that. So it's a level 24 weapon. And we're going to see how that does. Now, you can see the weapon does 10 to 60 hit points of damage of fire. And we're going to find out just how good that fire damage is going to be. It is 300 for my daily dice. And we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, because Sargoth has already completed a lot of his different epic destinies that you can see here, there's quite a few finished. Not all, but a few. So he's able to use some abilities that you get from epic destinies. And in this case, we're looking at the ability to cast the healing spells. That's from his epic destiny. And on top of the healing one, you also get the consecrated ground spell. And I'm trying to concentrate here on swinging a sword. Come on, get back here, you. Thank you, and goodbye. So, Take a look, there's that spell. And that'll help heal him up a little bit before the next group arrives. Now we're going to switch out to a Thunder Forged Allied Dwarven Axe. See how that does. And you can see there's quite a bit of damage difference between them. Now one of the things that you're looking at is going, Charles, you changed your weapon twice now. Why didn't the animation of your sword change? And the reason behind that is very simple. I'm using a cosmetic sword. The cosmetic sword is going to override the appearance of any weapon I'm using and make it look like the cosmetic weapon. So if I turn that cosmetic sword off, you'll be able to see the weapon, what it really looks like. I'm going to do that just in a second here. All right, they're all dead. And bring it up and remove it. Nope. There is the Thunderhome axe. Nasty looking thing, isn't it? There we are. And that brings up in our area that a lot of people like to get into, and that's your cosmetics. And cosmetics are exactly what it sounds like. It just overrides the appearance of whatever else you have on. So I take my hat off, and I take off my armor. So that's what my armor really looks like, and my helmet really looks like. Some of them are okay. Some of them are not. And when they're not, you can use your cosmetics to override. And that's what I've done. Recently, with the Dungeons & Dragons celebrating their 12th year. Oh, I got a dead one. How did he die? Oops. All right, pick him up. They celebrated 12 years of being online. So DDO has 12th birthday. And what I did is I traded in my 12-year-old birthday cake slice for my cosmetic armor. That piece there. The Vampire's Hunter's hat I had from when I added the Ravenloft expansion. And I picked that up. And I added the expansion into the game, which is good. I went out there and I got my sentient weapon from there. And then I also picked up the race, the SMR race, which I'm now using. Cosmetics for all of my people, including that hat and the cloak. And there's a few other pieces. You know, it was worth it. It was money well spent. And we spend probably about $100, $150 a year in this game. And a lot of that has to do with me personally. I decide that when I'm going to TR a character, that I don't want to spend all that time, weeks or months, trying to get that character back up to level again. What I want to do is I'm lazy, and I'm honest about it. I'm lazy. I have the money. I'm retired. And I spend the money to get Otto's heroic and epic boxes. And what they do is they'll give you a stone. And it's a stone of experience. And normally it's about 2 million XP. And what that does is as I TR character back down to level 1, I end up with a character that goes from level 1 to level 15 using the stone. Or in my case, because I'm in a guild and I have my experience points buffs, level 17 or 18, depending on the guild buffs. So, TR character. You go in, you follow the rules, you TR your character, and once that's done, you turn around and say, thank you very much, you're level about 1. You grab a hold of your stone after you make sure your guild buffs are active. You make sure your other buffs for XP are active. And when that's done, then you turn around and you TR. You're now level 1, and all of a sudden, boom, you eat the stone, and you're level 15, 17, or whatever you have. Oh, and here we go. Oh, I love that. Pets automatically know, hey, I'm dead. I better resurrect myself. Whoops. Before he goes. There we are. That's better. So, everybody else, please use the shrine. There we are. So he's back up again and ready to fight. And I'm all rested. There we go. Now, unfortunately for me, is that because I'm not a cleric, I don't put a lot of points into healing. And because I don't put a lot of points into healing, when we use the rest shrines, a lot of times it doesn't restore all of our hit points. And that's simply a fact of life, because the experience points that he gets is based on your intelligence, and his is base 13. So he doesn't get a lot of points to use on his skills. So when he does get points, he puts it into balance, because a fighter is kind of useless if he gets knocked to the ground all the time and he's standing there beating on his butt when he's laying there. So to prevent that, I put a lot of points into my balance, and you can see that here. His balance is 37. It's not bad. It's not bad. Healing 34, 61 for intimidate. So when I want to have people pay attention to me, I can intimidate them, and they will come quite easily. So now we're just waiting for the last, because now we've done it. Oh, there it goes. So we've completed all your waves to the first to the fourth wave, all the mini bosses, and we now have 40-odd thousand XP. So let's intimidate these people and go beat on them. And now we're back with our epic weapon, and we're just chopping these guys up into itty bitty pieces very quickly. So when you sit there and you could swing like this, doing 1,000 points of damage a swing, it doesn't take long to go through these guys. And he's down again. Panther, what the heck are you going on here? Oh well. Welcome to life in the fast lane. The nice thing about it when they die is that it still shows you flawless victory, no 0 deaths. So that's player character deaths, not your pets. And swing, and swing, and swing. There we go. So the biggest thing you look at is you spend a lot of time trying to think of what to do as you wait for these guys to spawn in each one of these series of waves. And you can heal your people up or your animals up, and then try and keep them alive a little longer. Wow, 64, really? That so sucks. What's his charisma? Sarkoth, what's your charisma, dude? 18. Yeah, that's the reason why. With your healing hands, or lay on hands as they call it, you can heal your character up depending on how high your charisma is. Sargoth's charisma is the maximum allowable for human beings, which is an 18, but its base is only 8. So he's okay, but a lot of that has to do with his not very looking very good, but he's a charmer. He can speak pretty good. Now, Paladins, mind you, on the other hand, have a maximum of 18 die charisma at the start, because everything they do is based on charisma. So they sacrifice strength and constitution for charisma. And they are basically a backup healer, a backup fighter. And mind you, their armor class can get just as high as mine without any problems. When you look at the aspects of being a paladin, all the protections they get from being a paladin, on top of armor and top of the epic destinies, yeah, they can have a pretty good armor class too. So you can't really knock them down. And we're just waiting for the next group to show up, and we're all healed up for the most part. I'll just throw another one on the owlbear there. One of the things I find, though, is when you're doing the cleave and the great cleave, you're supposed to hit everybody around you, but a lot of times I look at it and go, why is that guy not taking any damage? He is in range of my weapon, but it doesn't happen. So when you go into a group like this, you swing, and there's the cleaves, down probably 10% left, and the other guys are beating on him. So sometimes it doesn't work quite the way it's supposed to. And here we go. Here's the final fight. So let's get off the tieflings down. Okay, they're dead. And now just watch how fast we can burn this guy down. So he starts off with 31,000 hit points. And right now he's halfway down. Doesn't take long. And he's down at 1,000 and dead. Like I say, it doesn't take long. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there's our smoldering amber. And nothing else. And we're clear. Okay. All dead. So we go over here. Hey, Panther. You did it last time. You're not going to do it this time? You bugger. Well, that's a bit of disappointment. However, that's fine. Yeah, let's bring our Piker in. Now you can't see her because she's on a second screen. One of the advantages of my system is I have two screens. So when I do run two accounts and my alternate account, it's quite easy to switch back and forth between the two of them. But you can't see the other one. Which is, yeah, it's okay, but it makes it kind of hard. And let's see, she does not a crafter, but she'll take the rest. Now one of the things you'll find that a lot of times people will do in here is they'll come in and they'll start the game and they'll come into this quest and they'll open up for anybody else to come in and pike like I did with my other account, which is fine. And they go in like I did, they'll complete the quest, get the rewards, and everybody else that's in the game, and there's a maximum of 6 other people, or 5 other people, sorry, that can come in and pike. Without animals or pets, I could have had an extra 4 people come in and pike this game. And they would have been able to get everything, just like I did. There's that sword without the animation on it, or the cosmetic weapon overlay. That's what it looks like. That's that big bad weapon from Ravenloft. There goes those. And we have a small problem, but we're going to fix it real quick like now. There we are. One of the problems at the upper levels is that you have a tendency to hoard things, and it doesn't take too long to fill up all your slots. So there's Sargoth running around through the Devil's Assault and completing that quest very easily. I spent more time trying to heal up all my animals than I did actually healing myself. But, yeah, it is what it is. It's not hard to do. The Devil's Assault, when you have a decent character, it's not hard to solo it yourself. And you just grab a whole another 5 people that want to come in and pick up anywhere from 40 to 80,000 XP for free. And that's what Pikers do. They will turn around and jump into the game knowing full well they're going to get all the rewards, not suffer any damage. All they have to do is join into a quest where somebody's doing it by themselves, called soloing, and they end up with all the XP at the end. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me. This is the Cyber Magician. I hope you have a very fun time playing the game. If you're going to Pike someplace, say thank you to people that invite you in. And if they ask you, if you pass on to them some of the items inside, if you feel inclined to do, please do so. This is the Cyber Magician. Enjoy your morning. Peace out.